Why are you here? I will find out, read the first ominous letter. Derek and Maria Broaddus were busy restoring and updating their newly purchased home at 657 Boulevard. Derek had just finished a long day of painting the home's walls when he received the strange piece of mail. It read, "Dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood. 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now, and as it approaches its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, and my father watched in the 1960s. It is now my time. Do you know the history of the house?" This was the first of many letters that would be sent to the couple who had just paid a whopping $1.3 million to buy the beautiful house in the New Jersey neighborhood of Westfield in 2014. The neighborhood was that of the American dream, one of the safest areas in New Jersey. It was classic, well-kept, and upscale, with the average household income nearing $200,000 a year. Maria and Derek had worked their whole adult lives to be able to afford such an extravagant home and were looking forward to starting their lives in it. But their dream would never be fulfilled. Built in 1905 by a prominent town historian, the 3-story colonial-style house boasts 6 bedrooms, high ceilings, elegant columns, multiple fireplaces, and a sweeping verdant garden. It was purchased from the original owners by the mayor of the town in 1913 for just $1. Eventually, the mayor would sell it to his son and daughter-in-law for $1 in 1947. They would sell it to another couple a few years later in 1951, again for $1. That couple would sell the house to another couple in 1953, again for just $1. That couple would sell it to another family in 1955 for just $1. This was not some familial transaction where the home sold for $1 for tax purposes, as one would think at first glance, because something far more sinister was happening. No one wanted to live in the beautiful home. It was being watched. Eventually, the latest owners would try to make a profit from the house and sold it for $1.3 million in 2014 to a hardworking couple, Maria and Derek, who, within the first few days of being the new owners of record, started receiving disturbing letters. In early June, the couple received a note in the mail asking about if young blood was being brought in. It read, in part, in regards to there being new inhabitants, "Once I know their names, I will call them and draw them to me. I asked the prior owners to bring me young blood." The thing was, children were moving into the home. The couple had 3 children. Exactly a month later, on July 18th, another letter came, this one asking a worrisome question and making a disturbing statement. "Have they found what's in the walls yet? In time they will. I am pleased to know your names and have the names now of the young blood you've brought to me." The last letter they received requested horribly specific information. "Who has the bedrooms facing the street? I'll know as soon as you move in. It will help me to know who is in which bedroom, then I can plan better." The couple was so spooked that, besides calling the police each time a letter arrived, they also hired former FBI agents, forensic linguists, and private bodyguards to assist in finding the culprit. The forensic linguist was only able to infer that the person writing the letter was of an advanced age, that they were probably elderly, which made the letters more legitimate and even spookier, as they were evidently not just a teenage prank. The letters had no return address, and police had nothing to go on. There was nothing they could investigate as there were no leads. Police claimed they were investigating all possibilities and looking at all the neighbors as suspects, but never made any arrests or even had any specific suspects. The Watchers seemed to have a fascination for the 3 children set to move in, as a few of the letters specifically referenced the nicknames the couple used for each of their kids, with one letter stating, 657 Boulevard is anxious for you to move in. It has been years and years since the young blood ruled the hallways of the house. Have you found all the secrets it holds yet? Will the young blood play in the basement, or are they too afraid to go down there alone? The nicknames referenced in the letter were not released to the public, as that would further endanger the innocent children. The couple were unable to move into their dream home as they felt unsafe. In one letter, the watcher wrote, "Allow me to watch you and track you as you move through the house." The watcher commented that the new owners had updated the house so fancy, and remarked that the remodel cries for the past and what used to be in the time when I roamed its halls. The watcher also said that they ran from room to room, imagining life with the rich occupants there. The couple was appropriately freaked out and disturbed by these highly intrusive pieces of correspondence, and attempted to sell the house, to no avail. Later, they would file a lawsuit against the previous owners, alleging that, as they were aware of the stalker, known by this time as the Watcher, they should have disclosed that to potential buyers, and that by not doing so, they were in breach of contract. The previous owners definitely were aware of the Watcher, as on May 26th of 2014, weeks before the deed would be transferred to Maria and Derek, the Watcher sent a letter noting that there was a new family moving into the home, and who claimed a right of possession and or ownership to the home. With the lawsuit unsuccessful and the police not being able to solve the case, the couple applied to have the land bulldozed and proposed building 2 smaller properties side by side to sell at a lower price or to rent out. But their application to the Neighborhood Planning Commission was denied. They were stuck with the watched house exactly as it was. Not only was the couple dealing with the fear of the letter writer, but the couple now had to contend with angry members of the neighborhood, who believed that the couple's reaching out to the press and the police was bringing unwanted attention to the otherwise quiet neighborhood. One neighbor even went as far to suggest that Maria and Derek be, quote, tarred and feathered for them having brought the previously relatively unknown area into media spotlight. Neighbors were also offended that they had been questioned by police as persons of interest. Since attempting to sell the home multiple times, each at a lower price point, the couple has given up and is now renting it out, but at a significant loss, as the rent is less than the mortgage payment. The last letter received was in 2017, after the failed attempt at bulldozing the home. It read simply, "Loved ones suddenly die. You were despised by the house, and the Watcher won." To date, no advances have been made in the case, and the Watcher remains at large.